Hello everybody, my name is Zaezar. I am a professional character designer and illustrator, and I was not always that. There was a specific moment in high school where I just decided to go, you know what, let's try this art thing on. And it's been something I've liked and continued with ever since. And that put me in a unique position where I had my very first art. Like my very first. There was a set moment in time where I went, let's learn to draw. And I could look at that very first piece. In so many cases, you have people, creative artist types that just were always drawing since they were kids. I had no interest in any of that when I was younger. And it was just at that moment I decided let's continue with this. So 3 years after I decided to start learning, I found my very first full body. And I went, oh, let's draw this again. So I drew it again. And you'll see the comparison at the end of this. And then 3 years after that redraw, I was like, let's do this thing again, because that was kind of fun the previous time. Let's see how I compare. And so I set an alarm in my phone at that point to be like, hey, in 3 years, draw this thing again. And I almost missed the date. It is currently 1 a.m. So if I'm a little bit rambly, I do apologize. The past videos on this, which there are past ones, you can see the links to those down below. The past ones, they were just normal speed art style where they had music in the background. I think this would be kind of fun to turn into a bit of a journal thing going forwards. So what is the kind of positions I'm in right now? So I said at the beginning, I'm a professional character designer. That is definitely a self-appointed term, but that is the majority of the work that I do. Freelance stuff, so I work for people through commission and things like that. And I design characters for them. I design whole personalities. I do these big illustrations and like reference work a lot. Like I make references to people. I design characters the first time. I make adoptables and all that jazz. People in the furry fandom, all this stuff is super familiar sounding. People outside the furry fandom, hi, like comment down below. I'll talk to you. Well, I'll teach you what I know. I've been doing this whole thing for 9 years. I was not a character designer to start. I didn't know what I was to start. I just simply drew to start. And I took a lot of notes when I was starting out, and I struggled to learn when I was starting out. And now I stream 5 days a week, and I have a community of people who are super awesome, lovely people. And I just get to draw interesting, cool, fun characters. Not all of them I design. I don't care. Send me your cool stuff. I'd love to draw them. I just love seeing and interacting with cool people, cool designs, and just interesting stories that can come out of it, and sharing them as well. To kind of throw in a little bit of context for future me who might be watching this, or even if I throw these into a playlist to kind of go back through the journals as it goes. It is currently 2019, November of 2019. MFF is right around the corner, and you're fucking stressed, Zay, about that. Like it's a healthy stress, it's a healthy stress. There's a lot of cool things that are going to be going on. Getting to actually vacation in Chicago for a week, and then going to visit friends in Indiana for a couple of afternoons. But getting that workload done leading into MFF so that you have that free time to do all that stuff, stressed. You have a lot of projects that you're working through. For one, you have an actual business now, and I'm trying to actually not say things that aren't huge announcements right now, but you have a business that you actually properly run for your art. You have to get someone to do the tax for you, because can't do tax. Maybe in 3 years you've learned better how to do that. That'd be a cool goal. And listen, me 3 years from now kicking myself for thinking I actually was going to be able to do that. About 3 months ago, you were diagnosed with ADD. You finally sought that help. You finally figured out what was going on with that, something that you had always suspected for many years that there was something happening, and you were correct. You got successfully diagnosed with ADD. Basically no questions as far as you could tell. And you were able to get on a medication and a dosage that actually worked really well for you, and your productivity skyrocketed. Prior to this, you had to basically stream to do art. You kept getting distracted by so many things otherwise. So you used the kind of social pressure of wanting to entertain and be that face, as well as doing the art, in order to progress doing the art. Now you still do all that and love doing all that, but the act of doing art offline is a lot easier to accomplish. And that actually makes the prospect of this whole business and of doing a lot more of this work offline a lot more viable. You're getting better at knowing when and where to kind of put your energy into, like what you are able to accomplish, how long things will take to accomplish, not just in art, and what are things that are more worthwhile to just drop. There's a lot of things that, maybe could have handled better, and I'm certain you know what they are. But at the same time, Zay, I think you should be pretty proud of what you've actually accomplished up until this point. And I know for sure the things coming up, you should actually be pretty proud of that stuff too. I mean, if nothing else, so far you have a community of super lovely people who genuinely just make you smile. And I know you're going to have that thing be a much bigger community in 3 years. We're seeing kind of a large growth already. And I can't even imagine what like the streams might look like at that point. Maybe Twitch isn't around at that stage. Maybe there's a better just art-centered platform that has a really cool community around it. I simply have no idea. As for the character here, she doesn't have any set anything, right? She's not like a set species. She's not a set anything. She just kind of was a full body that I had made. And I am very slowly, every 3 years, developing her a little bit more, made her a little bit sassy, made her a little more interesting. And I think the most interesting thing I've added this time round is that I gave her the 4 little marks underneath her eye. And I have every intent of when I draw her in the future to add another mark somewhere on her face. Maybe I'll start going across the other eye. I think a 5th one on that side might be a little bit much. But I think it'd be really cool to have that like physical representation of how many times this character has come up. As well, it'd be really cool to be able to look at the art and go, oh, she's been drawn 5 times. This is the 15-year anniversary piece. So that I think would be a really neat aspect of the character that right now we don't have. You can see the difference between all the previous years really easily right now. But going forwards, maybe that won't be the case. This year I went hard making the art look really impressive. In the past years, I've always really attempted to make it something that is kind of worthy for me to look at later on. But you can still see the huge changes that I've made every 3 years. And to be honest, I actually didn't practice as much as I should have. I haven't been learning as much as I should have. I could have probably moved like 3 years ahead in each one of these stages, but there is a lot of various things that stopped me along the way. I won't go into too much detail, but like we said, I'm not upset at the progress I have made. I think that that's an unhealthy thing, is to look at what progress you made and think I could have done better. I'm incredibly proud of what I've accomplished, and I'm nothing but excited to see what progress I will be making in the future as well. I'll leave you guys with the end card examples of the past years here, and I'll see you guys in 3 more years. Goodbye.